Hey everybody, how's it going? Extreme Trends here. YouTube pranksters have made a name for themselves over the past couple of years by going into the public and conducting their own series of social experiments. The videos can be anything from fake robberies to fake abductions to even beating a dog in the streets, with the goal of seeing who or if anyone tries to intervene. In this day and age, a lot of people choose not to get involved and simply keep to themselves without stopping to help their fellow man. Others do stop but don't quite have the reactions the pranksters wanted. Before you know it, things can go from bad to worse quicker than you can say, did that just happen? So let's take a look at 10 social experiments that didn't go as planned. Number 10, bike bait. When YouTube pranksters Twins TV set up this stunt, they weren't expecting things to go south in quite the way that they did. The duo left the bike in various locations unattended, waiting until a despicable person took the bait and tried to steal it. The trick is that the bike is attached to a clean wire so that when the thief rides off, they get thrown off head over heels, getting their just desserts. Unfortunately, they also ended up getting their just desserts too when the thief didn't take the prank lying down. In a hot minute, things went from bad to worse as the duo chased down the thief in pursuit, camera in hand. Not ready for his face to be shared with the 2.6 million subscribers the channel boasts, the guy whips off his shirt and the pair get into a tussle worthy of WWE. He defends his actions by saying that he was just borrowing it but disappearing on his merry way. Number 9, ATM robbery. In probably one of the most ill-advised pranks to ever grace YouTube, Australians Alpha Crew took it upon themselves to see who would intervene if a robbery happened in a public place. As it turns out, the majority of people did rush to aid the pretend victim as the robber grappled him to the floor in the apparent attempt to get the cash he had just taken out the ATM. One bystander, however, wasn't about to let it slide with just containing him though, and dealt the prankster with a swift blow to the nose before both YouTubers declared in desperation that it's just a prank. The amount of blood spilled is pretty impressive as one member of the public states that it's not a very funny prank at all, and will have to agree with you there. The wounded individual asks his friend if the cut is bad while he reveals an inch-wide hole in his nose. Let that be a lesson to you if you're thinking of becoming a YouTube sensation. It might get you millions of views, but it will also get you a fair amount of stitches. Number 8, baby kidnapping. On a scale of 1 to insanely stupid, this one is definitely off the charts. YouTuber John Lynn put himself on the line in a variety of situations. The idea was that the mother would go into a restaurant needing to use the restroom, then ask a stranger to watch her fake newborn baby until she got back. Surprisingly, some people said yes. The experiment though is that Lynn will approach the stranger who is looking after the baby and will attempt to run off with the baby. One table instantly put a stop to it, not letting Lynn get anywhere near the exit with the child, so round applause to the heroes. What started as a pretty interesting experiment took a very dark turn when one stranger adopted the opposite approach. Firstly, the guy started searching in the changing bag for things to steal while the mother was in the bathroom, and then attempted to kidnap the baby himself before Lynn even appeared on scene. In the final clip, we see Lynn managing to kidnap the baby and throw him in the car before speeding off into the distance. It might have been risky, but Lynn taught us 2 lessons here. Never leave your child unattended even for a second, and no matter what, trust no one. Number 7, leading the blind. Lesser known American pranksters Prank Boys decided to see how many good Samaritans they could find on the streets by posing as a blind man and asking for assistance back to his car, where he attempts to drive it, waiting to see if anyone will try and intervene. Thankfully, most people do make a vigilant attempt to stop him from becoming a menace to society, but just like there are plenty of amazing and genuinely helpful people out there, there's always a bad apple waiting to ruin it for the rest of us. When the prankster approaches one gentleman, the guy agrees to help him and leads him to his car, where he promises to start up the engine for him. The guy keeps his promise, but he also shoves the blind man to the ground before he can get in the car and drives away like a bat out of hell. I guess you can't win them all. Number 6. Poop on Lamborghini. It's the turn for European pranksters now, and viral brothers took it upon themselves to get their own back on a Lamborghini driver who had cut them up and flipped them the bird while they were driving. Not once to leave it be, they followed him with some fake poop and placed it on the incredibly expensive car, one of them standing near the car pretending to wipe his butt as the other filmed safely from the other vehicle. When the man runs out to the scene, it's safe to say that he's not pleased, and after giving the laughing YouTuber a mouthful, decides that the punishment wasn't enough and whips out the taser. Clearly, this wasn't the kind of prank the two were hoping to get on video, but it still gained them almost 2 million views when they uploaded it to their channel in 2014. Number 5. Asking to use phones in the hood. There are a few places in America where it is not advised to approach anyone, let alone approach them and ask them if you can borrow their phone. Jenkins TV thought it was worth the risk though when they decided to film a social experiment. As the YouTuber asked various people who were already using their phones if they could borrow it, the majority of people tell him to get lost. Remembering his manners, the YouTuber politely thanks them and moves on. One homeless gentleman goes above and beyond to help the prankster as he said he's lost, even giving him 50 cents to use the payphone down the street in an extreme act of kindness. The next encounter wasn't as pleasant. When asked for directions, he gave them, but also helped himself to the contents of the prankster's back pocket too, stealing his wallet. A scuffle followed, and eventually the cameraman had to stop filming and call the police. The assailant gave up the wallet and fled the scene before the police had arrived. Number 4. Stepping on Jordans. To a lot of people, these sneakers are extremely precious, so when two pranksters, Dennis CTV, decided to film themselves purposely stepping on the feet of their unsuspecting victims, it's not surprising it went down like a lead balloon. Instantly, the prankster gets tackled to the ground as the guy angrily asks, "Why you stand on my Jordans for?" and that's just the first one. The second one deals out a push to the chest, and the third one gets him a clean punch in the face and beaten to the concrete sidewalk. The lesson here: don't ever disrespect the Jordans in the hood if you ever want to walk away unscathed. Unless you want to film a viral video, then it's best to stay away. Number 3. Don't tell me what to do. YouTubers Mo and ET have done alright in the world of video pranks, racking up almost 2 million subscribers. This video alone has got them 1.1 million views, which isn't bad at all. However, it came at a price. While roaming the streets of New York, Mo approaches people for directions. When the kind people comply and tell him where to go, he purposely starts an argument with them, declaring, "Don't tell me what to do." While some people just laugh at him, the main reaction gets pretty aggressive, with two guys losing their patience entirely with the pranksters and dumping a soda and hot dog all over his head. After this video, he needed some directions to napkins. Number 2. Abusing a dog in public. Animal abuse is a trigger for many of us. Even hearing about someone abusing a defenseless pup is stomach turning. So it's not surprising that Mo and ET also decided to see if they could set some tempers flaring with this stunt too. They placed a large stuffed dog in a bag along with a speaker making dog crying sounds. They then take the prop into the streets, beating it to see what the public do. While some members of the public intervene, when Mo tells passers that he's beating the dog because he made a mess in the house, they just say okay and carry on walking, say that it's a good excuse. Terrible, right? Well, if it wasn't bad enough, in another clip, two males actually join in, stamping on the dog before walking away. One goes as far as to spit on the dog and throw it into the middle of the road. Out of all the film they captured, only 2 members of the public ended up intervening. Number 1. Stealing basketballs. Last but not least, we've got the final one on our list from Prank Boys, who thought it would be funny to see what reactions they could get from stealing basketballs from players on the courts. It might not come as a shock, but it didn't end well. It wasn't just a simple case of a physical skirmish, although there were lots of those for sure. Things got really serious pretty quickly when one player got so angry that he lifted up his shirt to the prankster to reveal a handgun tucked into the belt of his pants. Showing the gun, he asked the prankster if he was really sure he wanted to do that. Obviously, the ball was returned back to the owner quicker than Usain Bolt running for gold, and we can only guess that after this social experiment, the Prank Boys took a little time off recording for the sake of their health. After all, what's the point of being a YouTube star if you end up passing away because of it? So that has been the top 10 social experiments that didn't go as planned. If you did enjoy the video or found it interesting, then why not go check out one of our other videos by clicking a video on screen now. Before you do that though, as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss a single upload. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you in the next video. Hey everybody, how's it going? Extreme Trends here. YouTube pranksters have made a name for themselves over the past couple of years by going into the public and conducting their own series of social experiments. The videos can be anything from fake robberies to fake abductions to even beating a dog in the streets, with the goal of seeing who or if anyone tries to intervene. In this day and age, a lot of people choose not to get involved in things to go south in quite the way that they did. The duo left the bike in various locations unattended, waiting until a despicable person took the bait and tried to steal it. The trick is that the bike is a did that just happen? So let's take a look at 10 social experiments that didn't go as planned. Number 10, bike bait. When YouTube pranksters Twins TV set up this stunt, they weren't expected and simply keep to themselves without stopping to help their fellow man. Others do stop but don't quite have the reactions the pranksters wanted. Before you know it, things can go from bad to worse quicker than you can say